And welcome back to Lantern Corp video, not to be associated with Who Would Wins, which I apparently thought this was for a second. So this one comes to us from Batdan, who asked the question, what Lantern Corp does Walter White blogger, I am the danger, I'm the one who knocks. Jesse, don't you understand? I never watched Breaking. I literally tuned into the last 5 minutes of the series finale just to know, okay, so does he die? That was about my exposure to Breaking Bad. That said, as I drink my ginger ale that I will not show the brand, even though you can clearly guess which one it is. My acid reflux was acting up. Ginger ale really helps with my acid reflux. The ginger and the carbonation really eases out my stomach. Yeah, but that's not to say I don't know about the character. I do know about the story behind Breaking Bad. He was, I believe, a biology teacher. He had cancer. Or it was him or his wife. Or no, it's one of them had cancer. Someone had cancer. I remember that. Pretty sure it was him and or his wife. But I know he did. And he only had a couple weeks left. He got into meth making, and became basically a meth kingpin. Walter White, Heisenberg. And the stories about that. So, with that, where would the Lantern Corps kind of put him? Now there's two big ones I think really solidify with him, but I'm gonna kind of run down the ones that I don't think work, and then pretty much go with the two that I think do work. And it's gonna be a little bit of a boring one for the two that do work, but still, I very rarely ever include Black in terms of the Lantern Corps, just because if a character is dead or has died, they can if a character has died, they can qualify to be a Black Lantern. But if they are dead, then they're guaranteed to be a Black Lantern. Now, obviously, because he's almost certainly dead by the end of the series. Spoilers. Although, truth be told, we never actually see the fact... We see him fall down bleeding out, but we never actually get the confirmation he died. They could have resuscitated. They could have saved him, maybe. So, let's be fair. No confirmation, but it's pretty much all she wrote that he died. That said, yes, in all likelihood, he'd be a Black Lantern. Take that out of the equation. Would he have been a White Lantern? No, he's doing it, and what he's doing for as he explained, he did it for the family. He's like, no, I did it because I liked it. He's making meth. He's making stuff that harms lives, damages life, all that. And, White just doesn't work for him. Likewise, I don't think he'd be a Lantern Corps, Blue Lantern of Hope. Yeah, he had hope to, help his family out and, make the money and all that, but that doesn't really mean much, in terms of way of hope. His hope is the little bit of hope he had is not the type of hope that worked for the Blue Lantern Corps. His was more perseverance about getting to his goal than it really was about hope or faith, so I can't include that either. Likewise, he's not an Indigo Lantern. He has compassion, just not enough to really be an Indigo Lantern. And he doesn't have a complete lack of compassion that would also make him an Indigo Lantern, so can't go that route. Red, though we definitely see him get angry and show rage, it's not the thing that's driving him. Remember, with a Red Lantern, with any of these emotions, it's got to be your dominant emotion, the thing that kind of drives you. With a Red Lantern, you need to have great rage in your heart. That's got to be the thing that's fueling your desire. And it's not what it's driving Walter White. Walter White's usually, even though he comes off as calm and collect a lot of the time, he's also can be quite intimidating, just being calm and, got gruff voice. So no, he's not, I don't think he's a Red Lantern. Sapphire, we know he loves his family, but is that the thing that drives him? Maybe you could make the argument in the initial run of this, in the first part of the series, yes. There is an argument to be made for Star Sapphire. I actually do think there is. But as the series progressed, that qualification starts to diminish. He never loses his love for his family, let's be clear. But is that the dominant emotion in his heart at that point? I don't think I could agree with that it is. The last one, before we get into the two big ones I think actually he qualifies for, the Orange Lanterns. So, Orange is obviously the color of avarice. You need to have all the lantern cores all the rings do amplify your emotions to some degree, at least that primary one. But particularly the orange one does amplify the amount of avarice, the amount of greed in your heart. But you still need a significant amount of greed. It needs to be your overwhelming emotion to qualify for it. That's a given. The problem here is Walter White falls into a weird gray area with this. Is that, yes, he wanted to get more and amass more, but there was a goal. There was an end game behind it. So, and that's the thing with avarice. Your avarice can't have an end game, because if Walter ended up making the money he needed, saving his wife, all that stuff, would he have stopped? That's the question. And I think the actual answer to that is no, because he did say at the end, it's like, I know you did it for the end. No, I did it because I liked it. And if he wasn't going to die, he probably would have kept doing it. So, but that's not because he was never satisfied. That's just because he's enjoyed doing it. So, I'm going to say there's a small percentage chance he could be an Orange Lantern, but I wouldn't put money on it. Just because the end goals of his greed actually existed on some level, or the reasons for his avarice existed. So there you go on those ones. But let's honestly get to the ones that I think he does qualify for. I think he very much qualifies for the Green Lantern Corps. Now, obviously, the reason for that, and let me see if I can adjust that real quick. There we go. Get that a bit more centered. Is just because everything he did, obviously you have to overcome great fear, which we clearly saw he did. The little bits I know of the series and seen of the series, yeah, he clearly overcame great fear. But also have great willpower. He amassed a freaking meth empire pretty much on his own, or with the help of, with just one person, like with Jesse. He amassed everything. He got his name known throughout in that area. And he overcame everyone else. Will would fit him perfectly. At the same time, so would the Yellow Lantern Corps, because, Walter White was feared. Heisenberg was feared. People didn't F with it. And the people who did F with him, a lot of them came to regret it. So, yeah, I would. I'd say that fear could also be a good Lantern Corps form. If I were to, break it down between the two, I do think that is the Will Lantern Corps. It represents him a bit better. Overcoming great fear, something he did, because he was a cowardly man. Obviously, I mean, he was just a biology teacher. But yeah, and then he gets put in he gets into the meth making business, and there you go. So that's overcoming great fear, and then he made a giant empire pretty much with little assistance. So absolutely, I think that the Green Lantern Corps, I think for him, is the best Lantern Corps for the job. But ultimately, it comes down to, what do you think? Do you think green is the best color for Walter White, or yellow, or is it one of the other 7 that I mentioned? Let me know in the comments below. But until then, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. As always, ideas for who would win, Star Wars, Superhero, Magic, what if, anything I do on the channel. There you go. I do have the Magic video to do later today. We'll get to that at another point in time when a bit more of the spoilers are all settled out on the proper sites. Until then, thanks for watching. See you next time, folks. Have a good one.